Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to be doing today is teaching you everything I know about the Guardian Stone system, how to get more Guardian Stones on your characters, how to change the color of your Guardian Stones, what the set effects do, as well as near the end, we got to talk about what they explain wrong. In the game, their translations are very bad if you're reading in English, and therefore they actually mistranslate one of the sets very, very wrong, and I'm going to need to explain to you how it actually works because it's way better than the way they explain it. That being said, please do hit the like button and subscribe to help me out. Let's go ahead and get into the video and explain it all to help you out. The first thing we have to do is explain what a Guardian Stone is. When you see these colored hexagons when you're in a battle, and most people just have one to start, right? That is what a Guardian Stone is. You're going to see people have one, and every now and then they're going to have tons of them, like 5 or 6, and you're not going to be able to break them, and you're getting destroyed, and you're trying to figure out why. That is because Guardian Stones are extremely, extremely important for your character's power for a couple reasons. One reason is because as you get set effects, meaning more Guardian Stones, and you get more Guardian Stones than just the one base one you have by getting Faded Gear. Faded Gear comes with a stone, and yes, you can change the color of the stone. We'll talk more about that later. But as you get set effects, there are varying effects that can happen if you match the colors correctly, okay? Pretty simple concept. For instance, the nature one adds a dodge effect of +8 dodge rating at 3 set or +20 dodge at the 6 set. That's not why I actually have them on. I actually use the green dodge set for a completely different reason. It's for the negative effect, but again, we'll talk about the negative effects later. So you start with 1 stone, you get some more faded pieces of gear, and you can only get 1 stone per piece of gear. The weapons do not have a stone, meaning if you want all 6 pieces to complete a set, your base color has to be correct, as well as the 5 faded pieces need to be correct as well, all the same color. Now, okay, how do we change the color of a character? You understand, once you get faded gear, and I'm not going to go through how to get faded gear because that is a different video. What instead we're going to talk about is once you have the faded gear, let's say you click on it, you're like, I want this person to have, let's say, the machine set effect, which what the machine set effect, I'm going to explain all of the set effects here in a moment, is what it does is it gives you immunity during the battle, okay? So what can happen is you're like, I want her to have this faux set, but she has green pieces on her. What do I do? And she has a green base piece. Well, in order to change the colors of the Guardian Stone, when you go to Door of Creation, you're going to notice, it gives a second, skip through the animation, then under Combine Convert here, there's the Guardian Stone Element Change Hero. This actually costs Zez to do to get the base stone changed. That's why you can get kind of lucky because the base stone is RNG when you open the character. When you pull them, it's going to come with a random base Guardian Stone, okay? It can come with blue, green, red, whatever, all right? We'll talk about the colors and more later. So if you want to change it to the proper color, you can go in here and be like, I don't like that he has a yellow stone, for instance. I'm going to move my camera here so you can actually see what's going on. I don't like that he has a yellow stone. I would like this to go to a different color. You hit the change button. I'm not going to hit it because I want him to have a yellow stone, and it's going to cost 100 Zez and go to a completely different one, or it's going to re-roll onto the same one. You're going to be unlucky, okay? Same deal when it comes to the Guardian Stone element change. This is more important because, it doesn't cost Zez. If you want to change a piece of gear, you're like, I don't like this one. It's fire. Let me select this. Then you take these, what are these called? I forget. You get these from the Shelter of Avarice. That's right. It's the one-eyed guy, the money guy. Okay, I think it's the ancient shelter tickets. You get 3 of a day. You get these, and don't turn these things in. If you notice in the craft here, you can actually turn those into money here under ancient gold. Don't do that because this is how you combine and get your Guardian Stones to change for gear. So I go in here. You pick one, say I want to change this one. I don't want to change it, but you would just click on it, right? And then you would go in and you would click 80,000 and it would change to a different Guardian Stone, or, again, you could re-roll and get unlucky. So that's how that works. Now, so we have all our Guardian Stones changed to the same color. What is the point of that? What is really the benefit from that? Well, let's show you. So if you go to your main settings here, you can actually see, I'm going to show you how to do this. It takes a little bit of a lag if you're on emulator, but you can go to help here and you can look through and see all the different help tips. Now, the help tips are very, very poorly explained, okay? But if we go to the equipment here, and we scroll down to Equipment Guardian Stone Effects, it's going to show us at least a base one. Now, some of these are correct, some of these are not correct. So I'm going to walk through these. These are the effects that are positive effects, okay? That means these are effects that are going to happen when you have this set bonus, be it a 2, 4, 6, or 3 or 6, or whatever that set takes. Different sets take different amounts. So for instance, the flame one's going to decrease the final damage taken and reduces your overall damage received, okay? However, you got to be careful because the flame actually, when broken, which we'll talk about more later, increases your damage taken. So you got to be careful with these set effects. We'll talk more about the negative set effects later. Frost, increased block at 3 and 6 at 156 or 390 block rating. That's not a percentage, that's a block rating, whereas the flame is 5%, 10%, 20%. Okay, crucial difference. Nature is increased dodge, that's dodge rating, not dodge percent, at +8 rating and +20 rating. I'm not sure to what percentage these correlate to be honest. I think it might have something to do with base dodge ratings, but I haven't figured that out yet. I'm trying to figure that portion out. The machine says heal every turn, 2 set, 4 set, 6 set. This is not correct. The machine does not do this effect. What the machine actually does is it stops status effect immunity. So if you are going to get stunned, silenced, fear the abyss, it makes you immune to negative status effects unless there are status effects that can't be resisted or unimmunable. I'm not sure if they have those in the game yet, but I'm sure as the game proceeds, in order to keep this guy relevant, I'm sure they will add those, okay? Now that you understand that's not what the machine set does, we're going to move on to the light. The light is actually correct. It does create a barrier for itself. The 3 set, 3 turns, 6 set, 5 turns, and 1920. I do not believe this is actually what it shows in the game here. I believe it's slightly different, but we'll look again at that. But that one is correct. It does create a barrier, aka a shield in the beginning. I kind of like the light barriers on some of your Dragon Emperor people because the initial damage can help basically give them bonus health for the beginning so they can tank a little bit harder against people like the Annie Baraka combo or Annie Jin, the fast assassins, the one-shot. The barrier helps a little bit with that, okay? Helps you get your procs off for your Dragon Scale. Now, the darkness, this is really the crucial one where they've made a major mistake. It says darkness heal based on damage taken. This is massively incorrect. It's damage heal based on damage done. The reason this is so huge is you deal significantly more damage because you have AoEs and all sorts of things than you do when you're receiving damage, okay? Plus, there's characters with counters. Think Dragon Xeon Rude, okay? You have that guy, he gets attacked, he counters, he heals off of that. Plus, he's getting tankier from the Dragon Scales while he's AoEing your team down and healing. For this reason, a 6 set of Lunar on Xeon Rude, the Dragon Emperor FC, is one of the best characters in the entire game with a full set, okay? So that is how the Guardian Stone set benefits work. But what we need to talk about as well is actually the equipment breaking. So we're going to go back here and we're going to find in here so that way you can find it too. So if you go through here, the battle guide, and then you go to break, okay? Now, before we talk about breaks, I'm going to mention this very briefly. I'm going to go into this more, but it's probably something you want to keep in mind when you're talking about Guardian Stone effects. If you're wondering how Guardian Stones get broken, it's done by the type of your character. It's not done by the stone of your character. So if you have a green stone, but it's a frost person like I have on FC Anastasia, she's a frost character, but she has a green-based stone, she's going to be dealing frost damage, meaning she's going to be breaking frost stones. The stones you have nothing to do with the stones you're breaking. All it has to do is the type of character. And I'm not going to go into the type of character because that's going to be a different video. This is about Guardian Stones, but keep in mind, if you look here at the elements, just the typing of character, when you attack a character, different things happen just based upon what type you are. I don't know, some people didn't realize that, but you need to make sure, so I would recommend going in and looking through the elements, okay? But what we need to talk about to complete this guide so you understand the stones is the breaking effects and what that has to do. So, what is breaking? Well, when you hit a stone, it removes that stone if you hit it with the type you are. So for instance, if someone has a rainbow, like one of each type of stone, there's 6 stones, and you have only fire people on your team, you can only break his 1 fire stone. You cannot break stones that are not your color unless you have a special ability like Illumines that breaks random stones, okay? There's also a common that does the same thing as well. For that reason, that's why Illumine is so good, but again, different video. So what does it mean when you break a stone? You have a machine guy, you break a machine stone, a fire guy breaks your fire stone, now you understand the typing. there's effects that happen based upon the last stone broken in the chain. So think of it this way. If he has 6, you break 5, the last stone, the very last one before he is in that broken effect is what will trigger what happens when he's broken, when he's in his break effect, okay? So when he's in break, that changes based upon the last stone. So for instance, if you break a firestone last, all damages will be turned to critical. That's why when you hit someone who's in break and you're like, why am I only critting right now? It's because you broke a firestone. Frost is really cool too because it ignores all defense. So if you see somebody who has like half frost, half fire or something, and you're like, okay, criticals would be cool, but he's a high defense character like FC Shafrakan, for instance, who you want high defense on, maybe try piercing the Guardian Stone instead. That way you'll go through his defense, okay? Pretty interesting. Now, Nature Guardian Stone, I'm going to talk about last because I want to explain why I'm using that one. Machine Guardian Stone breaks status effects for 5 more turns, meaning if you do like a stun on them, if you do like a dot, those don't go more, but the break itself will, okay? So not the status effects, only the break. So if you're going to break them for 10 turns, instead it's going to break them for 15 turns, okay? Very crucial to understand the difference. So Light Guardian Stone, the attacker recovers health and damage dealt to the target of a break. So basically, if you break someone who's light, when you attack them, you're going to heal. Okay, Darkness Guardian Stone is a mana created when you break it. Okay, the last one. For each time you attack him when he's broken, you get an additional mana. So if you have like a multiple hit move, you get 1 mana. Okay, it's 1 move. However, if you have a guy attack and then like another guy attacks afterwards, each one of those individually will get the mana. You see what I'm saying here? Like if you have a finishing move or something like that happen, like Jin or Baraka, one of the assassins, each one of those get the mana. Now, the Nature Guardian Stone, the reason I'm using this one is because how it works is you apply a dot to yourself when broken. So the target of the break will receive damage each turn relative to their maximum health. So you get a percentage of your maximum health, not of your current health. This can be scary if you have a lot of health, but it doesn't really matter because if you are a guardian, like a dragon scale character, for instance, what I did is I put it on my FC Anastasia. So she dodges some of the moves, from the bonus dodge rate, which gives her more time to heal. But if she doesn't dodge and they actually break her, what ends up happening is she applies dots to herself, and on every one of her turn, the dots is percentage of her health, and the damage is small and overrides the shield. You see, it constantly regenerates that, and that's why I'm using it on her. Now, it's not the best set in the world, but it's the one I've been trying for testing purposes. I want to make sure I get all the information I need to teach you guys this type of stuff or help people out there starting the game, so that's why I'm testing it currently with that combo. Now, there's one other thing we need to talk about the sets before we've really kind of completed it, and once again, I'm going to move my camera here, and that's going to be when you have a full set, meaning all 6, including the base stone of your character, they're all the same color, you get one more bonus effect, which is you get 1,200 bonus health when getting a 6-set Guardian Stone of the same element. This is a fairly large chunk of health. 1,200 is a lot. If we look at FC Anastasia, she's fully blessed, has all pieces of gear. She is plus 11 on her fake core. She is fused twice on her fake core. That means I've pulled her 3 times. She has plus 5 transcend and plus 5 on the enhance, and she's level 91 going towards level 190 or level 100. That means this character is fairly buff. Plus she has all faded gear and is strong. You can see she's at 9,700 health with all of those pieces. That's a big difference. That's from 8,500 to 9,700 because it's 1,200 health, right? That's a huge chunk. Quick, ginger math here. That's like 15% more or something like that. It's a pretty large amount of additional health just from the set bonus. So I do recommend trying to get set bonuses together. In interest of this video not being too long, that's where we're going to end it. Let me know if there's any questions that I was not able to answer or anything else you would like to know from this channel. Please do subscribe so you can see the next videos that are going to be coming up from yours truly. You can hit the like button to help it be shared so we can help inform more people of how the game works. I love you all. Thank you very much for the support, and see you on the next video, which is right here if you want to click on it, and you can subscribe by hitting the button there.